Cruise lines are getting closer to sailing again. Today, the CDC releasing guidelines for cruise lines to begin simulated voyages. Volunteers will be used for those trial runs. The CDC says the majority of people on board will need to be fully vaccinated.
But there are questions about if you will have to actually show proof. Investigative reporter Cheryl Mercedes verifies what you need to know.
Galveston greeted two fun ships to the Strand, Carnival Breeze and Carnival Vista. For the first time in a year, a sign that things may be getting back to normal. Avid cruisers took to social media to express their excitement and ask questions about new safety measures. Terry wrote the Verify team, "When the cruises open in Galveston, do you have to show proof of vaccination?" We have two sources for this, Carnival Cruise Line and the CDC. The CDC sent a letter to the cruise industry saying cruise ships could start sailing in U.S. waters again by mid-July. It also outlined the steps cruise companies must follow to set sail. Carnival President Christine Duffy highlighted one of them during her visit to the Port of Galveston.
The CDC's guidance at this time is 95% of all guests must be vaccinated and 98% of the crew members.
Carnival has not announced if it plans to require its passengers to show proof of vaccination. In a statement to the Verify team, Carnival said, "We're still evaluating the letter, so this is still being determined." So it is not yet clear whether Carnival will require you to show proof of a COVID-19 vaccination before you set sail. Other cruise lines that sail from Galveston have made the call. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, and Disney have announced all of their passengers and crew must be fully vaccinated to sail with them. With your Verify, I'm Cheryl Mercedes.
Have something you want us to look into for you? Go ahead, email us at verify@KHRU.com or reach out to us on Facebook or Twitter.